All right, welcome to our review of Masters of the Universe Revelation. Oh, jeez, it's been a long weekend.
Sure.
Here for our spoiler review for the Netflix series that just dropped. So if you haven't watched it, it's only 5 episodes, shorter than we were expecting. Go watch it, then come back and check our review. Joining me today is Bogz. How's it going?
Yes, sir. I guess I'm excited to talk about this. I mean, this was probably my most anticipated thing all year to drop. Mainly because my love of Heman. Of course, we've spoken many times about it on the channel.
Yeah.
Like before, I'd say pre-Star Wars, which I seen when I was about 9. This was my favorite thing in the world, right? He-Man was, 80s kid like you, Sean. So that was our thing. And of course, that first trailer was absolutely
Yeah.
fire. The animation, the music, the characters, the look of it. I was like, oh my God, they're bringing it back for us. So yes, I will. And then we got the show. So
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm a bit mixed. I'm not gonna lie as of right now, but obviously we're gonna get into it. So
Well, I mean, I would say the first both trailers
the
worked
trailers were good.
like
Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
and not even that, just listening to Kevin Smith talk about it,
Yeah.
about like his love for He-Man and his love for
Mm.
Masters of the Universe, and then
Hmm.
just like explaining like what the show's gonna be about,
Hmm.
and then we got it. So we'll
Hmm.
just jump right into it. So obviously, first it's only 5 episodes, which
Hmm.
off the top just felt like
They
wait,
didn't mention that. Yeah. So
I was like,
it's jarring from because it just
I,
finished. And I was like,
yeah,
oh, and then
well,
there was like no episodes afterwards. I was a bit confused. I had to check IMDb. I thought there was something wrong with my Netflix. I had to like go back and play again. So yeah, that
well,
was the
that's
whole
what I
thing.
thought. I was like, because before I started watching, I was just kind of I went to see how long each episode was.
Yeah.
So I was just like, wait, there's only five. I was like, wait, what? So I was like, I went out of the app and went back in. I was like, no, there's only five, I guess.
Same
Okay,
thing.
that's
Yeah.
weird. And none of them are like really. I was thinking maybe like one is super long to
Hmm.
compensate for. Like, no, they're all like the same angle. I was like, okay, that's weird. And then
Yeah.
kind of like what he said is like the first couple of minutes of the first episode is kind of like if you're not into He-Man or know anything about it, it's just kind of like, hey, this is what's kind of been going on before. I'm like, all right, cool, that's great.
Hmm. Hmm.
And then it just kind of jumps right into it, and we see this kind of battle, and Tila is gonna be like promoted to a man at arms level, and that's great. And then kind of Skeletor's doing his thing, like he always does. And Mark Hamill as Skeletor is perfect casting.
Hmm.
Perfect casting. That's another beef that I have for the first 5 episodes. He's barely in it. Oh, he's in it less than He-Man's in it, which is like for the first again. I don't want to be too harsh because obviously there's more episodes to come.
Hmm.
When, don't know. Uh, that's another thing. They should definitely say like, hey, more episodes are coming when, because they have to have known
Yeah.
that people are going to be upset.
Hmm.
You can't do you can't have those two trailers and kill He-Man in the first episode and not bring him back. Technically, you haven't really brought him back yet because
Yeah.
um, what Skeletor did at the end,
Yeah.
and think people are going to be happy. So I don't have a problem with doing the show the way they did it. I don't have a problem with that. Just market it the way. Just tell us what it is, and then let us judge it for what it is,
Hmm.
instead of like, especially if you're gonna split them up. If you're going to, if it plays out, let's say in 10 or 11 episodes, and obviously bring He-Man back, then do whatever you want. I don't care. But if you're gonna only release 5 episodes and He-Man is barely in it, then those trailers should reflect what those five, and they knew they were gonna do that. It should reflect what those first 5 episodes were. Boggs, what do you
Hmm.
think?
Oh man, I mean, I could talk about this for hours. Honestly, like, I'm so confused. Yeah. So it's how are you going to do a show about He-Man and not have He-Man in it? Like, he checks out at the end of the first episode. He took Skeletor with him, and that's it. Like, they don't bring him back. Yeah, it's like being, going to watch a concert or and the main singer walks off, midway through the concert, doesn't come back, like, or that kind of thing. And I feel like it's a lot like the Star Wars sequel trilogy, where people are expecting the OG, expecting a sequel to Episode 6, to Return of the Jedi. And they don't get that. They do get something, new characters in the kind of upfront, focus, and the kind of OG characters are supporting characters or glorified extras, really. And this is kind of what it feels like here. And where a series, what they don't do that, and they do it right, where they respect the OG characters, is Cobra Kai, where you put them characters up front, respect that lot, and then bring your characters alongside with them. I think that's the way to do it. I mean, the way this is done, man, I mean, is it a bad show? No, it's absolutely not a bad show. I mean, it's serviceable. Some parts are really fun. I did enjoy most of the first episode up until probably the last couple of minutes, up until where Tila they focus on a crown and like she throws it off. And I was like, oh, what's going off here? It was like a strange like thing, like, I'm sick of you all, and then that carries on for 5 episodes, and you're just like, and then the second episode started where, that's when I spotted. I thought, they're not going to bring him back. She's meeting the other characters, and Tiffany Smith's character, and Eva Lynn, and the kind of sorceress, and I'm just the whole time thinking, where's He-Man? Like, where's and they do that flashback scene of He-Man. That was the best scene in the whole thing, man, and the whole episodes, where with Skeletor and Man at Arms. Thanks, Man at Arms. You're all wet, Skeletor. I was like, where's that? That's the show that I've come to watch, right?
Well, and that's kind of what the trailer, as you said. That's what the trailer promises.
That's the
too.
Thing. That's the thing. It's the trailer. Like, even though the trailer was parts of the first episode, it was like an expanded part of the episode 1 was like an expanded version of the trailer, which I totally didn't mind because it was super fun. Flashbacks, I was smiling the whole way through. The action stuff was great. The music was great. The voice work is great. The animation is superb. And then it got to that thing with Tila at the end. I was like, oh, okay, and they stuck with that, which and that was probably they're the positives, I'd say. Making these almost the side or extra characters look really cool. The toys that we had back in the day, like bringing them to life, seeing them in action scenes and stuff. Like I said, the voice work is pretty good as well. The music is quite nice. But my biggest issues is, number one, He-Man is hardly in it, and Skeletor. I mean, we're here to see He-Man, Skeletor, Grayskull. I mean, let's be honest. The rest are interesting side characters, but they're the main. They're the MVPs of the show, right? They're not in it, or hardly in it. And my next issue, I got to be honest, is Tila. I find her really whiny. Like, this whole, I didn't trust you guys, you guys didn't trust me. Let's let you down. Okay, I get it, but let's move on. Like, it just carried on every episode. She dragged it out so long. It was with every character. I was like, yes, she's a badass warrior. Yes, I liked action stuff. But like this, the character choice was like, it was almost draining at times to watch. I was rolling my eyes at some scenes, and like, I was thinking, where's the story? Like, just bring He-Man back in. And they don't, pretty much. So they kind of bring Skeletor back in He-Man at the end, but majorly frustrated with this. But like, there's some positives, but like, man, I'm disappointed, big time. Based on that first trailer, like I said, I've watched that 50 plus times. So impressed with it, and that was just the first episode, basically. So since then, they took it on a different route, which I didn't really like, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, again, if you would have marketed it as like, this is going to be like a sequel to Masters of the Universe, and we're going to focus more on Tila, fine. And I actually understand Tila's gripe in the first episode. It's just like, hey, everybody fucking knows this thing, not me. Fuck you guys, I'm out. But you're right.
So I hear that, Sean. I hear that. Yeah, but the universe is at stake. Like, people need your help. Like, the other Masters of the Universe, the evil, the bad guys are all teaming up, and you're still whining the whole time. Like, get told, like, come on, fix up. Like,
no, I agree. After her initial beef, yes, just get over it. It's like,
which lasted years at that point, because there's a time jump, right? So
and I don't understand why they didn't specify how much of a time jump that was, because I think that would also make me understand where she's at, because I don't know how much time is gone. Like, all I know is she's got a haircut. That could have been a week later. I don't like. Obviously, it wasn't a week later. I'm just being like facetious, but like, it's been years, months. Like, let me know how long. Because that will help me based on where her character should be at that point. So that's one thing. But the idea that she's like kind of like just gave it all up, actually kind of I could understand actually why she would kind of walk away, why she would still be pissed about it or like whiny about it would determine how long it's been.
Mm-hmm.
But the show makes it feel like it's been a long time, so it's just like unless you see He-Man or Adam at that point, it's like you should be like, I don't want to say over it, but I don't know.
The characters in the show were telling her he entrusted you.
Yeah,
you know, like, do you know what I mean? Like they had to. I was like
think
you
like
couldn't realize this
like really
yourself?
think
Like,
about it. Like
yeah,
you didn't know, but like he did trust you in a certain way. So it's like he didn't entrust you with the secret, but he did trust you. So like why it didn't, like obviously like character arc, she had to like realize that at the end, but whatever.
Yeah, it took like 4 episodes, and yeah.
But you know what I thought? I thought what they were gonna do was, obviously I knew, He-Man's not, like dead. Like
Right.
what I thought they were gonna do is like have like a dual missions. Kind of
Yeah,
like
I thought he
He-Man
was
and
like another
Skeletor
dimension,
were gonna be,
or like,
yeah,
I don't know
exactly,
what.
like
Yeah.
doing their own thing, and then have everybody else doing it. Because I did like the idea that they were like giving Evelyn and all these other characters a little bit of a spotlight, because in the original show, yeah, they're just like there for quick puns and getting smacked around and whatnot. So I didn't mind the fact that they were getting highlighted a little bit more than they normally did. Didn't mind that, but I thought we were just gonna always like check what are He-Man and Skeletor doing, like in wherever the hell they went. And I thought that's what they were gonna play it with. And even the show, even Kevin Smith and the show realized that, like, oh, we need more He-Man in here. Let's put in some flashback stuff. It's like, if you're consciously thinking we got to show more He-Man, just show more He-Man. Just, like, don't do flashbacks. Just show us what's going on, because no one in their right minds thinks you're not bringing He-Man back. No one thought that. So if you're still gonna do it, then just do it and show us what's going on. The rest of the characters don't need to know that he's still around. Let the audience know that he's in some other dimension and he's trying to like either let the rest of the team know or whatnot, or just what he's doing. Like all the other masters of the universe are there. Just him experiencing what's going on there and him trying to figure out what's going on. That would have been great to explore. Like actually see more of Adam and not He-Man would have been interesting as well, but they didn't do that. So
Adam here seems like a totally different character to He-Man, as opposed to the original, which is fine. Like, of course, like he looks different, he sounds different. So let's get to know Adam a bit more. Like, I'd be great. And in that way, you can tell the He-Man story and bring up the other characters as well. Not move him to the side and then bring up the other characters, like where we feel, a bit missold. So, but I will comment on the other characters. Yeah, I thought they were great. I thought the Game of Thrones people that were in it, Lena Headey was great. Man of Arms was great as well. Liam Cunningham, sorry, he was cool. Griffey Newman I thought was really good as Orca. I thought just the kind of high pitched voice thing that he was, I thought that really worked. But yeah,
I like Evelyn as well.
Evelyn,
I liked
Mark Hamill,
everything.
awesome.
I liked everything they did with all the supporting characters. Loved them the way they explored all of them. Evelyn, like, hey, I just added the evil later, like all that stuff, and like the quips that they were dropping, like especially in the flashback stuff. I was like, yeah, man, that's exactly what this show should be.
That was great.
But it was just like
the action stuff in it. I mean, Healer was great in that part. Heman was great in that part. Man of Arms was. Skeletor, even that scene with Skeletor where he uses that other kind of portal to punch through, and then you get his bigger.
Yes, and then he like hurts his head. Yeah, all that.
They don't use any. They don't use that again though. That's just the one scene that he's in. I was like, okay, give me that, man. That's that's the badass stuff. But yeah, that's the. I mean, the ragtime team. I mean, at times, yeah, they were good, and the other characters, Merman, of course, Triclops, I did like all them. Seeing the extra detail that you never really thought you'd see.
No.
Apart from in toys or that kind of thing. So that was all cool, and they all had funny lines and stuff. Stinker and all them. And they look great, actual animation of it. And even there was times when, obviously you go to the bathroom, sometimes you watch it and you pause it. And I'd have to like double take and see the actual detail on everything. I'm talking like the leaves in the forest, like the shadowing you can tell, or like people's hair, like the lighting and stuff. It's actually, I think it's the Castlevania guys that do it, right? The studio, I forgot the name of the studio, but I believe it's the same animators. So that you can tell the level of detail and attention is beautiful, and kind of just wish the story arc kind of matched that attention to detail on that kind of level.
Yeah. I mean, because like we were saying before, like I would have loved to like have Adam meet all these former masters of the universe and kind of get more of a lore to like expand the universe out of like how many masters of the universe have there been, like like how did they earn this kind of prize that they kept like saying, and in fact, like if he leaves, you might not come. Like, well, then theoretically, the way they explain it, couldn't he just do some more good deeds and he can come right back? Like, I wanted to know, actually understand fully what he's really sacrificing, because they kind of allude to it, but they don't really like. It should be an important moment where he's like decides to leave, and if they expanded upon that, like doing it like I said, side story, then we would understand that would actually be a big moment. Now it's just like he's like, F this, I just want to go back. I don't care about this place. I want to go back with my friends. Exactly. So it's like it's supposed to be a big moment, but it falls short because we don't really understand fully what he's really giving up. Because
I fully agree. It sounds like you pretty much just described Justice League, like where we know Superman's sacrifice, and they need him back. Because He-Man is basically the Superman of this universe, right? So they're trying to bring him back, like they do in the Justice League, but that kind of thing, and we don't know his sacrifice, or we don't know what he's kind of doing, or they didn't make it interesting enough. So that's why, I mean, like I said, getting the scenes and stuff with the side characters, the action stuff, and expanding the lore, yes, it was okay, but to have that excitement, or to be like this is getting on Rotten Tomatoes, I think it's like 20 something, kind of audience rating. On IMDb, it's like 4.2 out of 10. Like, it's getting torn apart. So, and that's because, they did He-Man dirty a little bit, unfortunately. So,
well, I think the marketing did the show dirty, because I think there would be a better response to this if they just said what it was. Like, hey, this is a sequel.
That's fair. If they could have just said, I mean, well, it might not have worked, but they could have just done a Tila series in this kind of He-Man universe. To be honest, I probably wouldn't have watched it, but at least that'd be, that's completely fair. Like, if you want to do that series, that's fine, but like, don't put him front and center. I have the power, put him in every poster. The poster on Netflix it's got He-Man, it's got Skeletor above him, it's got Grayskull above him, and all the side characters on the side. Tila here and Man of Arms here on the side of him, small versions, and they're in 20 minutes of the series so far. Well,
but if they would have marketed like this, to say like, hey, this is a sequel to the original Masters of the Universe show. We're focusing on Tila.
Sure.
Market it that way.
Totally fine.
Release the same 5 episodes, but just twist it in a way where like it's more or less like the first episode is flashbacks, kind of like retelling the original story. Cut to exactly where the first episode of like she getting to be man at arms, and then she finding out some way, and it's just her going on a journey of like trying to find He-Man again or something like that, and then you can bring him back the exact same way she could find him, and then you could pick up exactly where the show left off in the last episode, but just tell us that's what it is, and I guarantee you the show will be received better. Because I think the people's biggest gripe is like, you promised us He-Man and you gave us Tila. Which again, I was enjoying most of what they were giving. It's not bad.
It's not a poor show.
No.
But yeah, it's serviceable. It's okay. But yeah, do exactly like I want to know, why didn't they do that? Like, why have they not done a joint thing of Tila and He-Man? Why have they sold us a He-Man show? Yes, they've not put He-Man on the title. They put Master of the Universe, but they put him visually front and center. They've like, he's the biggest thing on the poster. He's the main thing in the trailer. Tila, I believe, doesn't have a line in the trailers. In the shorter version, definitely. I don't know about the longer one. So yeah, why? I don't know. Yeah, why not advertise her more and then say it's like a joint? It's a joint venture. She's coming. It's the passing of the baton. That's fine. but be clear, be open and honest. People wouldn't be, as aggressively, against the show. So, yeah, I don't know. So it's a tough thing because he's one of my favorite all-time characters. But so I want to like it, but I mean, it's a tough thing to accept, unfortunately.
Yeah, because to be fair, who's to say like the next 5 or whatever episodes, He-Man's in it a lot, and it's great. And then if you just would have released it all at the same time, there probably wouldn't be as much backlash because if you watch it all the way through, he comes back, he has some great action. It'd be an easier pill to swallow. But this 5 episodes, dropping these 5 episodes the way they marketed before, and then not telling us, hey, the next episode's going to come out maybe a month later, or what have you. You're giving fans a reason to be upset.
Yeah, I agree.
And they shouldn't be, we shouldn't be. We're getting Masters of the Universe. Who would have thought that? Look how good it looks. Look at the cast they got. We should be super pumped and excited to watch this show. And right now, there's so much. The way they handled it is creating this toxicity.
Yes.
Which it didn't have to be there. It really, really didn't. So I don't blame Kevin Smith. I blame Netflix really, because the way they marketed this, the way they're releasing these episodes, because there's no way there's only 5 episodes done. I don't believe that. So the way they're handling this marketing wise is creating this, because I bet you whatever episodes are left, He-Man's in it a lot more. And Skeletor's in it a lot more, especially the way they ended it. The way they ended it was great, because you're thinking, all right, he's got the sword again, and he's about to say the line, and we know it's about to happen. And
that was an anime thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that was like, I loved it. And then he just kind of like kicked his body off the spear. I was like, yes, Skeletor, you say it. And then it was just like got so big. It's like, now I'm the master. I was like, perfect.
Yeah. That's the kind of cheesy.
That's what I
things
wanted.
That we want. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine Mark Hamill just doing, a handful of lines. Like, surely he's in.
Exactly.
He's got more stuff to do. Yeah. So hopefully you're right. But yeah, we'll see. Yes.
No,
I definitely agree with all that.
Right. No, I'm serious. You don't get a cast. You don't cast Mark Hamill as Skeletor for that.
Yeah, for 10 lines.
That's what I'm saying. He's definitely going to be in it more when this show comes back, and so is He-Man. But fucking just release all 8 or 10 or 12 episodes at once. Just do it.
And they haven't even said when the next one is.
I know.
Is it this year? Is it next year? Like,
I don't know. Yeah. And that's, again, that's part of it. That's part of it. Now you don't know what's going on, because some people don't think forwardly, or don't think how a showrunner would think. There's gonna be more episodes. A, B, obviously, they brought He-Man back, so he's definitely gonna be in it more. So all of your gripes now are good. You're not gonna have those when the next episodes drop. But then just tell us that.
Yeah, I think they need to at this point. Because they can stop a lot of this toxicity with saying, okay, in December you're gonna get 5 more episodes. Yes, Skeletor and He-Man will be more prominent in it, but people might not believe them now. Because
maybe
over this,
maybe.
So but yeah, they're gonna have to be careful with it, I guess. But yeah, I definitely need that with this, because I don't know if it was this series, I don't think I'd watch it. Honestly, I wouldn't, because I'm watching it for He-Man and he's not there. So that's just me personally. I know, I'm guessing other people must be like that too. So the fact that you've watched it, it's like, oh man, you tricked us. So I think that's being overseen over the quality of the show, because you feel like you've not been treated fairly in that case. But so I'm a bit in between that, oh yeah, that's not fair, but it was kind of an okay show as well. So I'm a bit in the middle, but people are completely tearing it down because they've put that as a priority. They're the corporate, the way the corporate media are dealing with the public, almost if their opinion doesn't matter, kind of thing. So yeah, I don't know, it's just a complex thing, I guess, but yeah, I'm really hoping they're in it a lot more in the final half of the season.
I mean, to be honest, they have to be, because if they're not, then I don't know. Kevin Smith loses a lot of credibility because the way he talked about it,
Yeah.
and like set aside the marketing because obviously like sometimes like they don't have anything to do with it. Put that aside. Kevin Smith himself, the way he talked about He-Man,
Mm-hmm.
He-Man, not necessarily Master of the Universe, He-Man.
Yeah.
The way he talked about that specific character makes you believe that the show is about He-Man. It's about the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
Yeah.
Again, if you would have said that this is Master of the Universe Tila, and then we were surprised that they sprinkled in some He-Man, and then and then in the second half of the series, he's gonna be in a lot more. Then I'm like, oh, okay. Then I know what I'm getting.
Sure.
You know, like if you show the trailers and He-Man's not in it, he's not in any of the trailers. But then like, whispers are, He-Man's in a little bit of the first 5 episodes. But then in the second half of when we drop the second half, he's in a lot more. Then people will be like, oh, okay, all right. So let me see what's going on in the first 5 episodes because I know He-Man's coming in the second half. Then people would treat it a lot more differently. But the way Kevin Smith kind of like, he promises one thing, the trailers kind of double down on that, and then you kill him in the first episode, and then the thing that and I know I said this already, and we're kind of circling around. The thing that annoyed me the most is the flashback stuff. It's because it's like you've made a conscious decision that we need more He-Man.
Yeah.
And and the stuff that they did was like, again, I loved it, but it's like you thought you needed more
You
He-Man.
know you need to put that in the show. Yeah.
You need to put it in the show. But you went around it in the complete, like, that decision alone is frustrating to nth degree. Like, I'm more pissed off at that decision. It's like, because you made a decision like, yeah, we can't have all 5 episodes kind of without him. Let's sprinkle in some, like, no, just sprinkle in some stuff with Adam.
Right.
I'm telling you, people would have loved seeing more of it. Well, I don't know.
100%.
Some people would just still been pissed because He-Man, he would have got more He-Man. But
Yeah.
I would have really loved to see more of Adam, especially the way they're kind of playing it off now. Would have loved to see more of Adam. But I mean, I think we've said all we're gonna say. What are your expectations now? This is kind of hard to say. What are your expectations for what's gonna happen next? So obviously now Adam is back. Skeletor has the sword now. What do you think they're gonna do, or what would you like for them to do?
Oh man, I honestly don't know. So I'm guessing we're going to see what Skeletor is going to do at Grayskull.
Yeah.
And see what's going on there. Maybe like a war might happen. Adam bringing all of his kind of other friends, like the actual Grayskull guy and all them people. So who knows? Where the school? I have no clue. They're going to obviously still continue to give us the Tila storyline. Not sure exactly where that's going to go. Because I'm not sure if we know where his mom and dad are right at this point. That we didn't see them again.
We haven't seen them since episode 1.
Yeah,
they've been alluded to, but
yeah, they're gonna come. But I'm sure he will kind of see them again because it looks like they have age and he still stayed the same age. So I'm sure we'll see them if they're still alive. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. It's really open ended. It was a good twist at the end. I'll give it that. I did like kind of what happened there. It's cool to see kind of Skeletor get the sword and stuff, but I don't know, honestly. I mean, it sounds bad, but I just wanted it to finish, honestly. When he was there at the end, I was like, okay, we're getting it now. And then he stabs him, Skeletor does a thing, and then it finishes. I'm like, oh, okay, good ending, but I'm kind of glad it's over. So, I honestly don't know. I haven't really thought about it too much, but because I wasn't as smart as you there. I wasn't thinking, oh, they're gonna surely have more of Skeletor and He-Man in it now. I've already got a bad taste in my mouth. So, of course, I'm gonna watch it because I want to see what happens next. But I honestly don't know. I've not put too much thought in it. What about you?
Well, I mean, I think marketing wise, I can understand why they would want to end there because that's a great moment to end on.
Fine.
But again, without telling us when, it does make it more frustrating. And one more quick thing. I didn't like Evil Lynn. Like, you spent the entire arc of her trying to, like, not redeem her, but like
Yeah.
understand where a character's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
And the second Skeletor comes back, up. Sorry, guys.
When they
I was
just like walked over with the two.
like, can she have like a little hesitation before she does that? It's like she does.
I mean, have she
like,
pulled like a face like as he was coming out of the? I forgot what the thing's called. Yeah, the school thing, and then but that was it. Yeah, she didn't.
And yeah, I think that was just more of like a shock, and like he played her. He's like, sorry, but whatever.
Yeah.
Like, all right, and then come along. She's just like, okay, bye. I'm like,
I thought the same
really?
thing.
Like, you just destroyed the entire thing you just spent 4 episodes building.
Didn't hesitate.
Just like that.
Yeah,
so, again, a little hesitation there. But anyways, I was like, I forgot to mention that because I think that really annoyed me.
Yeah.
Like,
by that time, because that was like right near the end. I think I just rolled my eyes at that point. Like, so I did think the same thing.
What I want. It'd be cool if they can, like, they established that there were different Masters of the Universe. I would hope the show finds a way to give us more context to that.
Okay.
In some way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
I actually want to see Adam more than He-Man, because
I mean, he seems
like
cool. He seems like
you compared him to Superman. To me, he's a little bit more like the Incredible Hulk,
right.
In the sense that, like, there's Bruce Banner and then there's Hulk. There's Adam and He-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're both interesting at the same time, but in the other show, He-Man was just, Adam was just like this whiny little bitch, and then he turned to He-Man and
just kind of moved the plot
cool.
Along.
Yeah, this part, their twist on them,
they're different characters, pretty much.
Yeah, they're completely night and day, like Bruce and Hulk. Mm-hmm. So I want to actually see, like, Adams kind of say that, and it kind of looked like they were kind of doing that a little bit until he picked up the sword and he was about to say the thing, and then he got stabbed. So now that he doesn't have the sword, he's not He-Man. Let Adam save the day a little bit more, which I think is going to piss some more people off. But I think that might be interesting. But at the same time, he's got to turn back into He-Man at some point. But I really don't know what I want to see, to be honest. I just want to see.
What about with Tila? Because they're not, they're going to continue her storyline, of course. So.
Well, they better. Like, if you do something interesting with it, like if you just sideline her again to, like, kind of put us, like, right back to where the show was before, then, like, what was the point of this? The show has a lot of interesting things to do going forward. It's like, how do you handle Adam and He-Man going forward? What do you do with Teela? Now, you can't put her back seat to He-Man now. You can't.
Yeah, that's it.
Exactly. So, like, otherwise you just, what was the first 5 episodes for them?
Yeah.
So, I don't know if this show can honestly satisfy the story that they were telling and the fans at the same time. I don't think they're going to be able to do that.
Good point. Yeah.
At this point, because people are going to want more He-Man, and if you give them more He-Man, you're giving them less Teela that you spent all this time building up. So
makes sense. Yeah.
I'm interested to see what they do, but I think this is not going to end well for the makers of the show, and it's a goddamn shame. It really is.
Yeah,
like,
big time.
This show deserves way better praise and acknowledgement than it's getting, because it looks and sounds like it's just pretty to look at.
Yeah,
like,
can't fault that.
Yeah, it's just pretty to look at. And like I said, the voice cast, we saw that already. But what would you rate the first 5 episodes out of 10?
Maybe 6.
Yeah.
And I think I'm being a bit generous there, because
I thought you were lower.
Yeah, I could have gone. I could have went 5. But like I said, it's not bad. It's not crap. It's just I found it dull without the main characters in. That's the truth.
I mean, I'll match it. I'll say 6, because I was always sitting there waiting all right, when are they gonna cut back to He-Man? When are they gonna cut back to He-Man?
I think I sat up in my chair on that flashback scene, like because he was just getting arrested with them fish characters. I forgot what they're called, and it was just watching. It was like that was like watching the old '80s series just for
Yes.
2 minutes. And when he said, thanks to Man of Arms, you're all wet, Skeletor. I think I'd like laughed or like half jumped out of my seat, and then it was like a hard cut back to the story, and then I was like, oh, that's what I want. Them few minutes, obviously, it's clearly not that kind of show. They might bring it back. I don't know. Who knows? But
yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
But I mean, but I enjoyed that too because when we were watching the trailer, I was like, that's what I wanted. That's what I thought this show was gonna be based on the trailer.
Yeah,
it's like we're gonna get the exact same kind of feel. They were gonna move the show forward, but then give you a little flavor of the old.
Sure.
But it moved forward, it just in a completely different way than we were expecting. Yeah. And then just gave you like a little like, hey, this is what it could have been if you would have went the way you thought. So it's like
this is the world without He-Man. Basically.
Yeah.
Like this is the world without Luke Skywalker kind of thing.
Yeah. Again, which I wouldn't have mind. Just tell me that's what the show is. Just tell me that right off the bat. The what is Eternia without He-Man?
Yeah.
Ah, but interesting. What is the world like? What is Eternia without He-Man? Because that's an interesting question.
Sure.
And then just let that be the show, and then surprise us when He-Man just pops up. It's like, exactly. Oh shit, He-Man's up in here. Okay. But again, a lot of this has to do, big studios. A lot of this is like corporate level. Like you can't have He-Man mess with you without He-Man. You stick him in there somehow.
Yeah. Seems like.
And then we gotta market it. Like put He-Man in the but he's not in it a lot. Doesn't matter. Put him in there. So it's like, again, we'll never know, or I doubt we'll ever know, like to what degree like he was involved in all that stuff. Because a lot of that is like studio level marketing nonsense BS. But anyways, that's our review of Masters of the Universe. We both were super excited for this series. We were both, I think, literally drooling over it, especially when we first watched the first trailer, and then we get this. It's just super disappointing, and it's really sad because the show, we should be like hopping out of our seats like
I want to. I want to watch it again and again. Like I was ready to do that. I was mentally prepared for this show to take over my life for like a week. Yeah. And just watch it over and over and watch all the reaction videos and reviews and there's just like no, I don't.
Well, especially because how the episodes are so quick. I was easily like, bro. I was gonna go through the first 5 episodes.
We'll review it. We'll be super. I'll buy the T-shirts.
Yeah.
Now I'm like.
No. Yeah. Now just like I don't like. I'm judging it for what it is, but I don't want to like. I'm smart enough to know like there's more. I don't want to like completely destroy it because the second half of this series might be amazing.
Sure.
And might make up for the first 5, but I don't know. I was so ready to be like to love this and like embrace this like nostalgic hug.
Yeah.
But I might I don't even know if I'm gonna rewatch it until I know when the next episodes are gonna come out. I might watch it like just do like a straight.
I need a bit of time from it. Yeah.
But I'm just like. What's the next thing? You're right. I was waiting to like be glowing about this for a week or so, but now it's just like, wake me when
we even considered doing episode reviews, right?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
And I think if we loved it that much, or if we, that could have been a possibility. But how it's gone, we've just done, a season review, and we'll go on to the next thing, wherever it is, what if, or roll on that, and then give this a bit of time, and then. We'll see. I mean, they need a big trailer for that season, whatever, the second half of the season. That's going to be, all eyes will be on that trailer, like, and picking it apart and what are they misleading us? So that'll be interesting. Whenever that
comes. Like, I'm looking forward to it and not looking forward to it at the same time.
Exactly, yeah.
Because my expectation now level is just like, like I'm pretty sure like there's gonna be some cool stuff in it, and there's gonna
Mm.
be parts that I like, but I'm just not hyped for it. Like the
Mm.
trailer has like a lot of work to do, a
Mm.
lot of work to do. Whenever it comes out, but
Yep.
until then, this is just Masters of the
We're
Universe.
heartbroken. We're heartbroken,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah. I
Yeah.
didn't want to be in like I don't want to be like this like nerdy fanboy in my mom's
Huh?
basement, just like no, they didn't give us He-Man.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be that, but at the
Yeah.
same time, it's like come on, man.
Mm.
Don't show those two trailers and then you do this.
Yeah.
Like I get it, but I don't get at the same time. Like
Mm.
I understand it, but it's still it's
But I don't like it. Basically.
yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Mm.
And the way Kevin Smith was like, he should have like the marketing is one thing. He should have set
100%.
us straight.
100%.
But
You said it wasn't his fault. I don't agree. Like I understand. Like on a corporate, he's probably contractually maybe not allowed to say certain things, but
yeah,
the way that he's, put He-Man and the law on a pedestal, and then because I don't remember him mentioning anything about Tila, right? And I
no,
know
I
they
heard
want
him
to
mention
keep
about
that.
Tila. I
Okay,
heard him mention
okay,
about
fine.
like her finding out and then kind of what her reaction to it
Right,
was. So
right. Okay.
but that doesn't make me think He-Man is
It's their
not going to
show.
be in
Yeah.
it. It's kind of like He-Man is there and her dealing with the fact that like
Right,
oh, I gotta be partners with this guy who didn't. I thought they were gonna do it like that, where
right.
yeah, which would have been interesting all to itself.
Hmm.
But then when you just like, all right, she finds out, oh, He-Man's dead, and not even He-Man. Like it's not even that He-Man's dead. You take Skeletor with him.
Yeah, man.
It's like you take the big bad out because then
Mm.
again. Well, I know we're about to wrap, but then, like the show gets is so interesting to talk about. It would be interesting to see Skeletor fight
Of
Tila.
course.
Like that would have
course.
been like that would have saved a lot of the angst as well. Like again, that would have been interesting too. But
Hmm.
again, they didn't do that. There's so many things. There's so many ways they could have handled it and gotten to the exact same point
Hmm.
in these first 5 episodes that would have helped the reaction
Yeah, definitely.
better, but they just bungled it. They really bungled
Big
it,
time.
and
Big time.
it is what it is, and I'm just bummed about it. So
Me too.
yeah, well, yeah, that's our review. Let us know in the comments what you think. Obviously, this is a hot button issue. A lot of people have opinions one way, the other. I don't think a lot of people are in the middle. I think people are like either really hate it
Yeah.
or maybe don't like it. I don't know if you like. I don't know if people are going like this show was amazing. I don't.
Yeah,
I
think
I
they
don't
are.
know.
They are, of course.
Well,
Especially a lot of Kevin Smith fans will be. But
yeah,
um,
but then are you just fanboying out because Kevin Smith's name on
maybe.
it, or are you appreciating it for what it is based off of what you thought it was going to be? Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
your expectations were and what
Yeah.
the trailers doubled down on your expectations. You know what I mean? So,
Mm.
like, are you looking this as objectively as possible, not just like, oh, Kevin Smith is on it, I love it. You know,
Well,
like,
like people hate it, so I love
yeah.
it. Like that kind of
Or
thing.
like if you hate Kevin Smith, oh, Kevin Smith's name, yeah, that thing is trash. Did you watch
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
No, but it's like if you actually watch it
Mhm.
objectively, it's not what you thought. And just because it mess with your expectation, that isn't always a bad thing. But just like eh, the show, even the way that the show was executed could have been better. But we said our piece.
Yeah.
So let us know in the comments what you think. What side of the fence do you fall on? Are you excited to see what's coming next? Do you not care now? Do you feel betrayed? Do you like it? Tell us know if you like it. And why. Do you like the decision that they made? Are you interested to see what they do with Tila? Are you interested in see what they do with Adam? With this extra layer of lore that they've alluded to, do you want them to explore that more? I'd like to see more Man of Arms. More. This is so much more I
Skeletor.
want to see. Yeah, Skeletor. I want a little bit more deep dive into Skeletor. Like explore him a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be interesting. Yeah, but again, I'm looking forward to it and not all at the same time. But we'll see what happens. So until next time, for Bogz, for myself, we have the power, but we wish there was more of it.
Yeah. Definitely could have had more.
Yeah, later.